Yeah, I had a chat with Renato, and I said him exactly the same thing that I just said to you in terms of uh, playing in the position that he is playing with us, that give him the chance to join international team, and also probably give him the chance to be to get speculation around him. So that means that clubs probably are looking for him, and clubs are looking for players that they are doing well, not they are doing bad. Players that they are doing well with the club, they are doing well with the international team. And as I said, for me, if there is a player that just want to play in one position, they're gonna struggle. They have to adapt. They have to play in different position. They have to learn to play in different position, because it's a good thing for the team and for the club.
How did he take that? Because I presume he also wants to play regularly as well, does he?
But I said many times I also want long hair. But we have more than 20 players, 25 players, and they all want to play, but it's not possible.
Hello guys, and welcome back to another video in our channel. So in our video today, we are going to preview the Chelsea fixture against FC Bournemouth, and Chelsea will be playing a home game, and I have a lot to discuss, including the previewing the game, looking at the other game, and looking at the transfer window. So there's a lot that has been happening at Chelsea, but I will touch on that briefly. Currently, I want to talk about Chelsea's last encounter with the AFC Bournemouth, a game where Chelsea won 1-0, and it is a ground where both Manchester City, Arsenal have lost. And Chelsea in this game were not at their very best. Remember, it was a goal from Nkunku that secured Chelsea the 3 points. And Bournemouth, as they proved in that game, they are a decent team. They are a team that went to Old Trafford, beat Manchester United 3-0. This is a team that has caused problems to a lot of big teams. However, today I will also talk about the transfer saga, as Fabrizio Romano is now confirming that Renato Veiga is actually in a kind of situation where he's almost entering into a deal with Borussia Dortmund, and he's more likely to depart Chelsea in this window because he prefers to play at centre back. Another player that is also rumored to depart is Karnic Kumeka, who's also rumored to leave for Dortmund, who are requiring to actually sign a number 8. And there's also another player who's actually rumored to be departing, and this player is none other than Axel Disasi, who will not feature in today's game, will not be on the squad because also the club are looking for an opportunity for him to go. But majority of us have always known that Disasi is not the kind of player who is at the Chelsea level, and him departing in January further emphasizes how Maresca is actually lost trust with him. Now, I also did a match review on Chelsea's 5-0 over Morecambe. Please go and check that video. I have detailed how Chelsea actually managed to escape their woes and how they managed to solve the lower block problem. Kindly go and check that video, as it will really help you to understand how Chelsea managed to break down a stubborn lower block. And Chelsea will be facing AFC Bournemouth again. Chelsea have not won in their last 4 games. 2 points out of the last 12. Those are many points which have been dropped. 10 points. 10 crucial points. If Chelsea probably won those 4 games, which I believe were winnable, they would actually be now top of the Premier League table. Just Liverpool in behind them with a game in hand. So it's high time that Chelsea got back to winning ways in the Premier League. Will this be the game? Now, before we even start our analysis, a lot of you watch our videos but are yet to subscribe. If you are not subscribed to our channel, I kindly ask you to subscribe for more videos. Now, Enzo Maresca will have decisions to make in this game when it comes to his lineup. And I'm going to discuss his lineup and the roles of each player in that lineup. And we start most importantly with the goalkeeping position. And in the goalkeeping position, none other than Robert Sanchez is more likely to retain his position. And we really need a good performance from Sanchez. We are up against a high pressing team, should be very comfortable with the ball, and most importantly, we need a clean sheet. Remember, we need a clean sheet. Centre back pairing, I'm going to pick Tosin and Levi Colwill. I know a lot of you might look to incline towards Achenkpong. In my opinion, he's a young lad. Throwing him into these Premier League fixtures, I believe it's so early for him. We don't know about the situation with Mark Guehi in this January transfer window. And Tosin had a good game in the FA Cup, scored 2 goals. So I think we can really rely upon his confidence in this game. Hopefully, these two again can keep a clean sheet. I'm going to go to the fullback pairing. I'm going to go with Rhys James and Marco Correa. And Correa is one of the most important players for this team, offensively and defensively. Rhys James is back. And with the role he played last game as a wide centre-back is also the role I want him to play in this game. It's good to also have the captain on the pitch. Hopefully can rigidize that defense. Gusto has not been quite well this season. In midfield is the double pivot of Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez. And yeah, this pivot has been looking well. Fernandez in those attacking areas, he needs to know how to link up and find players in between the lines, because this game Chelsea will have space. Caicedo, on the other hand, just does his job. That is winning the ball and ensuring he sits in front of that back four. The attacking trio, I'm going to go with Pedro Neto, Cole Palmer, and Jadon Sancho. And yeah, though I've not been well impressed with Neto down the right, I cannot lie. Sancho, less passing. When in a position to shoot. You are passing a lot. Sancho is really passing a lot. Sometimes you're just in a position, shoot. Cole Palmer has been doing his job. I have no problems with Cole Palmer. He does his job every game. Jackson again. We really need goals. And yeah, Jackson's position is now coming under scrutiny, with some of the fan base and some of the former players talking about that Chelsea should get a striker. So Jackson needs to get his form back, because he will also start being discussed, because Chelsea is moving mad and Chelsea will most likely not entertain a player who's not delivering for the team. Now, Iriola has set up Bournemouth in such an interesting way. And we're going to look at what threats Bournemouth pose for Chelsea and how Chelsea can navigate those threats. It's something I really want to talk about while I'm tactically previewing this match. Now, one thing that we've seen about Bournemouth is their intense pressing. And we saw the intense pressing when they were playing against Chelsea. Bournemouth are that team that like to be on the front foot. They like to press aggressively. And when they press, they have runners making runs of the ball. Now you can see even from this clip, Bournemouth are pressing aggressively and winning the ball off Veiga, who moved in midfield. And immediately they win the ball. It's not that they receive the ball and go back to start playing. Rather, they win the ball and immediately launch devastating attacks, as you can see here. Won the ball, did not hesitate, immediately launched a swift attack against Chelsea. And those are some of the things that you really get from these types of teams. Then another thing is how they actually pressed Wolverhampton. And how they pressed Wolverhampton was also quite interesting. Their pressing kind of system is man-to-man approach. And in this man-to-man approach, they are stacking. They're usually stacking. And they know how to read loose balls, and they know the pressing triggers. While either a player receiving the ball with his back from goal, or when a player is receiving the ball and his first touch is poor, they understand the pressing triggers. And whenever they see the pressing triggers, they immediately launch on. Once they win the ball, they have enough players in the attacking zones, because they have committed a lot of players in the press. They have an attacking, they outnumber the opposition in attack and immediately launch devastating counter attacks. The attacks normally look like transitions because of the nature in which they look to progress the ball forward when they are pressing. It's really intense. It's really well calculated. The precision is just remarkable. Another thing that you'll notice with them is the way they flood the box when they are transitioning. They ensure they flood the box, and the striker, though, will not play in this game because he's out, is one of those strikers who knows to make those runs in the box. Another thing that you've noticed about FC Bournemouth is the way they like to go direct when they are building up. So Bournemouth are that team that are not afraid to go long, especially when they are building from the back. So if a team presses them aggressively, they just commit a lot of players onto the opposition's backline and then they decide to just go long. Now we know Chelsea is a high pressing team, so having a player like Tosin who's able to win those aerial duels will be very great, because once he wins those duels, then Chelsea can find themselves in a position where they are able to stop Bournemouth going long, because if Bournemouth go long, then they will beat you in that making runs in behind and actually cause you problems. Another strength that FC Bournemouth have is what we call the quick transitions, that is moving the ball quickly when they regain possession. So here they have regained possession over Brentford, and immediately you can see the triangles they are forming. One touch, the ball is in midfield, and now look at the players who are making runs ahead. Just simple passes, and they are able to bypass the opposition. So Chelsea needs to be ready to employ an intense counter-pressing mechanism, because the counter-pressing mechanism is what is going to enable Chelsea to beat this team and stop them from transitioning quickly. Because if Chelsea allow this ball to be transitioned quickly, then they will be in big trouble. And FC Bournemouth transition with a lot of players. So you'll find fullbacks making overlapping runs, and also midfielders making those late runs in the box so that they can have many numbers in the box. Another weapon is having Kakes as a left back threat. We've experienced left back threat against Fulham, the way Robinson was skinning Malogusto and Pedro Neto down the left. So it's more likely we are going to experience that challenge again in this game with Kakes. So beware of the overlapping fullbacks who are making runs the blind sides. And lucky for Chelsea is having wingers who track back, like Pedro Neto. We saw him tracking back, so he'll have another job again today to try and stop Kakes from making those overlapping runs that can put Chelsea in devastating trouble. Remember, these overlapping fullbacks want to create that 2v1 overload against your fullbacks, and is also a good crosser of the ball from the wide areas. Therefore, Sanchez can also help in claiming those crosses and stopping this player from trying to destroy Chelsea in those moments. What about Enzo Maresca? Where can Enzo Maresca look to capitalize from FC Bournemouth? Now, one way Chelsea can look to capitalize from AFC Bournemouth, having known that Bournemouth are an upper block, is trying to position hitting those players in transition. And hitting those players in transition is whenever Bournemouth are looking to attack, they commit a lot of players forward. So once we receive the ball, the best thing we can do is immediately launch quick counter-attacks. I think we are very good at that by having players such as Cole Palmer receiving the ball in between the lines, Enzo Fernandez, and having runners like Neto and Jackson making runs in behind in a position and areas where they can attempt shots on goal. Now, this game is very important for Chelsea. I repeat again, Chelsea have not won 4 of their last 4 games. Chelsea have dropped 10 points from their last 4 games. So it is that game that the players need to win to bring in the confidence back into the team, and also to sustain themselves in a top 4, because failing to win this game just sees Chelsea move from 4th to 6th, because Manchester City and Newcastle will just bypass Chelsea. And again, Chelsea will find themselves in the position they found themselves last season, struggling to finish in the top 4. So it is good for Chelsea to win this game, just continuing to maintain the top 4 places and get yourself back into the Champions League this season. What do you think? Leave your comments in the comment section area below. Thanks for watching and see you in our next video. Bye.